Hello everyone. It's James again. And before I start today's video, I just want to quickly say, all work in this video contains 100% original content of and by myself James Smith, otherwise known as Bgood 4000, and was uniquely created with NAWMAL software, by myself James Smith. As I purchased commercial rights from NAWMAL to produce my unique and original video with this software. Commentary is uniquely my own thoughts, feelings, and expressions. Now that I have that out of the way, I do hope your day is going way better than fantastic. And your journey to self-betterment is going way better than fantastic as well. Today I wanted to make a part 2 to the first video I made. How the female narcissist is destroying society. Now first I want to say this. Narcissism can be equally found in women as it is found in men. However, narcissists will use. They will literally use whatever tool they have available for them to use to get what it is they want. And that is narcissistic supply, money and power. And depending on the country you are located at, it might be the female narcissists that can run roughshod over everyone and do as they please, with minimal consequence. But you might live in a part of the world where it's the male narcissist running around doing one evil thing after the next, with the backing of society. However, what we are talking about today is Western culture. And in the West, the female narcissist has been empowered, emboldened, and uplifted in society to literally do as they please, and getting rewarded for the evil they do. But with that being said, there are men behind the scenes along with women, writing laws, and putting things into effect in society, that allows the female narcissist to not only rise to the top of society, but to turn other women into narcissists as well. Because besides getting narcissistic supply and ruining and destroying others' lives, narcissists love. They love to turn the unsuspecting into them. And because the female narcissist has been raised up as the example of what a woman should be, and is praised in television shows, such as reality TV and movies, and music, there doesn't seem to be one decent role model for young women to follow. I want you to ponder that for a moment. Look at the music scene, and the women that are popular movie actresses or reality TV show stars, and think if you would like your daughter or sister or another woman in your life to become like these popular women. More than likely the answer would be a hard no. And this is why we need wonderful women like you all on this channel and other channels to be the shining example of what decency is all about. Because that germ of goodness has to start somewhere. Just like the germ of evil and wrong had to start somewhere. And though that germ has been going on for a long time, we can look back in recent times when things took a hard turn for the worst, where young women were influenced with narcissism and all things wrong. We all know that Kim Kardashian showed up with a purpose to become famous. And she did in a way that gave a negative blueprint to other women that looked up to her. And besides her tape that made her famous, Kim was known to get married and divorced at the drop of a hat, showing women that a relationship is just a business agreement. And if you aren't feeling the agreement anymore, even if the person they are with hasn't done anything wrong, break the contract and find new business elsewhere. Things were already not doing so well in society. But when Kim and her brand and lifestyle came onto the scene, things started to become even more superficial, and so did relationships. Because you see, people are way more influential than what one would give credit for. Those that make such television shows do so to get advertiser dollars. Similar to this platform. But instead of informative information, they are selling a lifestyle. A lifestyle they hope and bank on that millions of women will try to copy. And in the process, they can sell to these women every product they see Kim using or Kim saying that she uses. And doing their best to wear the budget version of the clothes that Kim wears. This is why Kim is so valuable to such big companies. Because if she wears something They can make a budget version of what she is wearing and have it sold out in all of their stores. I mean, it seemed like overnight. There were terrible looking Kim K copycats everywhere. Simply because their television and their friends said this is now the it thing. And now the sad thing is, because everyone has copied her so much, Kim has drastically changed her body in the other direction. Instead of being curvy or the look she was known for, but now is almost rail thin. And now the same women that tried to copy her curvy look are now shifting gears right along with Kim. Now I know. There are some seriously bad narcissistic men out there. But when a good majority of women in Western society are trying to copy and or be like in one way or another their best version of Kim K, it makes it so the average man doesn't have anyone viable to date. Because Kim K, no matter how attractive one thinks she is physically, the average man would want nothing to do with dating her as a person. If you ask the average man what he thinks of the Kim K character and would he like to date or marry someone that behaved like her, and more than likely it would be a hard no yet. She is somehow the gold standard of what a woman is supposed to be like. And again, the only reason why this is so they can make as much money as they can off of all of the women that look up to her. It's that simple. She likely doesn't care about any of the women that try to look like and be like her. And that in the process of these women trying to be like her, they are sadly walking down the road of narcissism. Now, is Kim a narcissist? That I don't know. But are there some serious red flags? I would say so. And if you have someone that has some serious red flags being the gold standard for what a woman is supposed to be, it's like taking a big monkey wrench and throwing it into the gears of society. The average woman now wants a multi-millionaire and they want to live a jet-set lifestyle much like Kim K lives. And if they can't get such a lifestyle, they don't want to be with a man. Even if he is decent, God-fearing, and even good-looking. He better have that money to fly her all around the world and buy her what she wants. Where did they learn that from? Their favorite reality show heroes. And thus the great divide between men and women has happened and has even more so widened. But where did her behavior come from? I recently seen a clip of Kim's mom, Kris Jenner, where she was at dinner with her boyfriend and Kim and Khloe. And her boyfriend Corey Gamble said he was going to watch the new episode of Yellowstone. And if it weren't for Kris he would be a Yellowstone star. And Kim and Khloe questioned their mom Kris about this. Like, wait. What? You told him to not take a role in Yellowstone. And it came out that Kris told her boyfriend to not take such a role because he might have to do a love scene with a female actress. That's when Kim and Khloe said to their mom, well, if you had a chance to do a love scene with Kevin Costner, I bet you would do it? And Kris got a big smile on her face and said heck yes she would. Now this goes into what I talked about in my other video on this topic. And there are a lot of people that if they are honest with themselves they've seen and heard. I've worked in places that were supposed to be professional. But the 9.5 times out of 10, where you would have someone there talking in a way that would be deemed inappropriate and downright raunchy, it's been a woman. They talk about things I can't mention here. But everyone giggles and laughs. And guess what? They never get reported and they never get into trouble. And one of the things such ladies will talk about is how they leave their husbands and boyfriends at home while they go to the bar and nightclub. And if anyone dare enter that conversation and say that doesn't seem right, they will say that is controlling and that it's normal for women to have not only the want but the need to do such activities. But when asked, what if the tables were turned, and it was the man requesting her to stay at home, watch the children, while he the man goes to a place where women are hitting on him all night long, well that becomes a hard no. You see many of these women marry men that are beneath them in some way or another. And they train their men to have hobbies that are non-threatening. Such as maybe watching football at home with the other husbands in the group. That's acceptable for the men. But the women? They go to nightclubs with thumping music and men hitting on them all night long. Now again. This doesn't mean that narcissist men don't do this ugly behavior to women they date and marry. Because they most certainly do. However, what we are talking about is what is normalized in society. And what is normalized is the narcissist woman turning every man they meet, date or marry into Ahab from the Bible. And that's the thing right there. There are some godly men still out there. They have just seen this type of thing thousands of times in front of them. And many at least recently have adopted the boundary. And it is a boundary against getting tangled up with a narcissist female. And that is, I do not date or marry a woman that goes to bars or nightclubs. Now this isn't the only thing that makes a woman a narcissist. Because a narcissist female could be an old grandmother baking cookies. But it's a good start to developing some kind of boundary. But again, this is tough. Because in the West, even the most plain Jane woman is almost expected to partake in this mess. By the way of their friends, their co-workers. And if they don't partake in this, they are made to feel like they aren't part of the group. As we've talked about, narcissists, no matter they be men and women, usually, not always, but usually around 6 months will drop their mask and show you a little snippet of who they are. They might pick a fight with you for little to no reason. But one thing they might do, and this is extremely normal for the female narcissist or female narcissist in training. And please ask any men that you know in your life. And I will tell you, most men, no matter how good looking they are or what they have, has had this happen to them. Around 6 months into their relationship, their new wonderful girlfriend shows up acting a bit different. Either distant and quiet or overly happy, almost in a fake manner. And then the conversation will come up. One of their old girlfriends from college or high school is back in town. Which is likely a load of nonsense. This is probably a girlfriend they talk to every day. And because this so-called girlfriend is back in town, they want to get together and spend some time together. Now weekends have just been the guy and his new girlfriend since they met. And now they are saying, "Sorry honey, I made plans to meet up with my old girlfriend at," you guessed it, a nightclub or bar. And this is where usually the first disagreement happens. Why can't you just meet up for dinner and come home at a decent hour? Plus you can actually talk and visit with your friend. Because isn't that the point? To be able to hear what each other is saying to each other. Why a nightclub with loud music and men hitting on you? But the man will get verbally beaten down with he's insecure and is being controlling. And nothing is going to happen. And he's paranoid. A script she has likely rehearsed and said to many different men in the past. And just like the narcissist's first argument, they might start over you arriving late. Then there is a fake apology. To draw you back in. The female narcissist is notorious for using this tactic as well. And majority of the time, they are successful. And sadly, this is the first step into transforming the man she is with to be compliant and to overlook horrible behavior. And these end up being the same men that tell other men that this type of behavior is normal and that you just have to be more secure with yourself. When in reality, if you are with someone you care about and they care about you, neither one of you should be acting like and going places that single people go to. It serves no purpose and doesn't build anything healthy. But these types of women act just like Kris acted in this episode. And if you get a chance, search Kris Jenner Yellowstone and this clip will come up. And you will think to yourself, how can any self-respecting man be with a woman like this? But the sad fact, this is what men are trained in Western society to be. And the wives are trained to be like Kris Jenner or her daughters. And this has been happening way before these two showed up. Because I've heard some women say and do things in the office no man would dream of saying. However, What Chris and her daughters have done is find a way to reach out to a wider audience with this behavior for others to copy that had no idea this type of behavior was even a thing. Thus the divide between men and women has gotten even greater. Then you have the super famous TikTok star, Sophia Crow. That is only famous and well liked for showing off her unrealistic wealth and materialism, and for telling women to become rich by doing absolutely nothing, and to only date rich men, and to stay away from broke men. Here's what those that run society don't want you to know. That if a broke woman and a broke man that had common beliefs and likes and that were attracted to each other, they would make a pretty good life together. There are videos of women talking about how they need a husband to come and pay half their bills because they are unable to pay their rent. And that they don't have to have an emotional relationship. They just need help with their bills. Which again is letting you know that these so-called heroes for the females in Western society is creating a narcissistic schism with a great many women in our society, sadly. But the truth is, if it were pushed to find a godly man, a man trying hard in his life, a man that is responsible, there is a great chance that linking up with such a man, a woman would have a wonderful and blessed life. Now would they be dripping in diamonds and wearing furs? Probably not. But is it worth to lose your soul just to have such things? Well, these women you've seen so far sure seem like this is how they are living and what they are exporting for other women to live by. This is where you have women throwing away marriages with men that love them, only to be with a narcissist man simply because he has a boat and a supercar. And TikTokers like this are popping up all over the place, making female narcissism grow and grow and grow. Think about it. Such women have millions of followers with women that want to be just like her. And Kim K, she has 10 times more than that. Just let that sink in for a moment. Then we have Britney Regan. She is famous for so-called swindling a young basketball player into having a child with her, just to get his money. Or at least to attempt to anyways. She's talked about many times and shared with other women on how to trap a man with money, by the way of having a child with them. And this is where I will stop. Because she is known for saying she has been with 35 men and she's looking for her 36th, and that made the big news last week. And though that is a problem, on how proud she seemed to be about the situation, the main problem is something I've said many times for years here. Some of these women, if you took away the money they were getting for their child, they would likely walk clean and clear away from their child, short of abandoning their children, if not full on abandoning their children. Now I'm not saying she would do it, but if she did, I wouldn't be shocked either. And that's the important part. These children are being born as part of a trap or a ploy. Not because they love the man they are with. Not because they want to build something meaningful and have a great family. No. It's just a means to get rich and to have status. Much like Sophia said. Don't date a broke man. Basically use this man to get the lifestyle you want. And in Britney's case, and many of her followers, to take it a step further and have a child to make sure you can get your hooks into the guy enough to get his money. And speaking of hooks, there is another story I want to talk about in another video. But this Britney Regan character and others like her just run around doing all of the things they are doing, while getting praised by the masses, or others seeing it as funny, instead of looking at it for what it is. And that it makes men that want to have a family and to have a wife feeling like they have literally no hope. Because the laws protect. They literally protect and reward these type of behaviors. And this is how society is getting destroyed. Because the godly feel like they don't have a way to connect and be with and build with others that are godly. Because these types are now the norm in society. And if you try to say as a man, you don't want to be with someone like this, you are labeled insecure. And the good women can't find the good men. Because the good men have either left or they are hiding. I'm sure there will be a part 3 to this video. With that said, I would love to hear what you think. Please leave your comments below as always. With that said, I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.